It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks going up against the Nuggets in Denver. For the Nuggets, these guys are playing good basketball with 7 wins in their last 10 games, and they like their chances tonight. Well, we knew Harrison Barnes would see a boost in scoring after leaving Golden State, but man, I think it's safe to say he's exceeded expectations. You think?
You know, he could put up 20 a game as a focal point. You know, his ISO game, Kenny, is fantastic.
I agree.
Can he be a number one option?
I think he can be a number one option, but I think he serves best as a number 2 option because then he can kind of roam around and the dependability isn't there every night.
That's it for us for now. Kevin Harlan standing by, ready to bring you the play-by-play.
On the road, looking for a win against the Western Conference rival, the Dallas Mavericks are ready for this thing to get started. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. The Denver Nuggets came away with the win, their last meeting this season against the Mavericks. That win brought the season series level at 1-1.
Yeah, terrific performance, really synced on both sides of the ball.
Well, especially offensively. The chemistry these guys have is infectious, and it really shows.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Isaiah Thomas may be small in size, but he's always dreamed big. He said, "It sounds crazy, but I always thought I was going to be an NBA player, that I'd be an all-star and one of the best to play. That was in my head since I was a little boy, before I loved anything, before I knew what love was. I love the game of basketball." Kevin?
Great to hear that, DA. Thank you. Thomas plays with real passion. You can tell he loves playing the game. Doris, should be quite a battle tonight. 2 terrific front courts. What do you expect to see?
Well, I'm really curious to see the level of physicality on the interior in the painted area, each side trying to impose its will upon the other. Who does the better job invading the space and contesting shots? Just don't invade my space over here, Mr. Harlan. Keep to your side of the table, will you?
I wouldn't think of it. I would not think of it. Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Smith Jr. runs the point with Matthews at his side. They're the backcourt. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. And it's Jordan in at the 5 down low. Now here's Millsap. Just 4 to shoot. Denver needs to get off his shot. Murray for 3. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss. And Matthews kicks to Nowitzki. Here's Barnes, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki.
That's called working the catch-and-shoot game to perfection. Barnes on balance and on point with his shot mechanics.
Pass to Millsap. From the stripe, Mavericks with the rebound. Fresh from a win against Portland.
And how about the effort that they put forth in that game, playing just lockdown deep?
Well, you know what they say, defense wins championships, and they made a huge effort to shut them down.
And when you look at Harrison Barnes' game offensively, Doris, where does he have to improve?
I think one thing is he needs to become more of a heat seeker. Get into their body, get to the free throw line. With his strength and explosiveness, you'd like to see him shooting more free throws.
First free throw is good.
And Harrison Barnes, just a tremendous athlete at that small forward position. I think his strength enables him to guard up and hold his own against power forwards, and coaches love that versatility.
Both shots good from the stripe. And Greg, you look at the versatility of Barnes. He can defend, I think, 3 positions.
And that's what the league is all about now. Switching on picks, much more popular, and with an all-around solid defender like Barnes, it doesn't uncover mismatches. And setting the tone early with a strong move to the rack.
Boy, seizing control right away. Send a message on that possession.
The Nuggets shooting their first free throw attempt on the night.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw, good. Jokic.
And last season, how about the jump to true stardom that Jokic was able to make? There was a stretch where every game he just looked more and more incredible. Truly gave this team, I think, a franchise player in the blink of an eye.
Martin with it. Guarded now by Barnes. Jokic, no good.
Boy, the defense collapsing and throwing him off balance on his way to the cup.
A 3 from Matthews. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Now, Wes Matthews getting a reputation for that unreal range.
And for so many fans, Greg, of Jokic, it wasn't a surprise to see his play blossom last season.
And boy, did he. Jokic is so skilled for a big man, having played point guard growing up. Still very young and looks to be a star for a long time.
Nuggets have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Murray, the pass to Jokic. And it's blocked by Jordan.
And really, that's the brilliance of Jordan, just denying those shots there with tremendous power.
Smith gets it to go on the assist by Nowitzki.
Check out that assist. You can tell a player who's seeing the whole floor very well.
Now here's Murray, covered by Smith. The Nuggets moving the ball around to the inside. Jokic, count the basket. Jokic has got 5.
Heating up early on. This is exactly how he wanted to start the night.
You're right. I mean, he's found his rhythm early. The defense has got to do a better job guarding him from this point on.
It's deflected. Here's Millsap, and it's slammed in by Millsap.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Yes, you love that they're not settling for anything outside the paint. Excellent work getting right to the tin.
Matthews. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Matthews has got his second bucket of the night.
Well, Matthews not just a perimeter scorer now. He's not afraid to mix it up inside.
The Nuggets trail by 4. Murray dishes to Millsap. Passes to Jokic. Over Jordan. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Over in the corner, Matthews. He kicks to Barnes, and it's sent back by Jokic. And here comes Harris, leading the fast break. And again, it's Paul Millsap.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Jordan the screen to the paint. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Now here's Murray. Not a lot of room. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for Dallas.
And the 3-point shot was a huge part of their game plan. When it was falling, it made them very hard to defend. Opponents were stretched out all over the place.
Now here is Smith. 9 points last game. And here's Matthews from the arc. Not this time. His first miss in 3 attempts from the field. Barton kicks to Murray. Shoots from the baseline. Gets a hand on it.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
Here's Matthews. Lays it up off the glass. Matthews has got 7 points.
Well, this guy is willing to make the extra pass. Barnes is not just a finisher, right? This guy's most efficient when he plays within the structure of the offense.
Murray, the pass to Harris. Millsap sets the pick for Murray. They set the screen. Millsap a screen. 6 on the shot clock. From deep. They get the rebound. Now here's Murray. Covered by Smith. Harris against Matthews. Harris kicks to Millsap. Over Nowitzki. Millsap misses.
Superb defense, guys. No way he's going to let him get off a clean look at the basket.
Matthews dishes to Smith. Feeds it to Jordan. And it's Smith penetrating. So many great point guards in this year's draft. Greg, what stands out to you about North Carolina State's Dennis Smith?
Well, I think he's the best athlete of them all. A terror off the bounce, great toughness, and he's drawn some comparison to Stevie Francis when you talk about his bounce and physicality.
Throw good, Smith. And the Nuggets over the past few seasons have done a great job as an organization of collecting talent.
And with that steady approach, they've been able to develop a star with Jokic. The Nuggets took a very disciplined approach to building this team, and you can see the depth they enjoy, and it all starts with the job this front office has done.
That one is no good.
And Dennis Smith Jr., the 9th overall pick in this year's draft, but voted by his fellow rookies as the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. The Mavericks giving him every opportunity as their point guard of the future.
Millsap with the steal. Martin with it. He's coming off a 10-point game against New York. The pass to Harris. His first shot coming late, and it's good off the back rim and in.
And Dennis Smith, guys, get this, measured a 48-inch vertical, which would tie him for the best in NBA history. He's a perfect fit for the Mavericks, who were in desperate need of some star power and athleticism. Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Dallas has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Jordan the screen. Here's Smith. And it's sent back by Millsap.
And Millsap, for his size, a pretty good rim protector.
Here's Jokic. He dishes it to Harris. Pass to Murray. Back to Harris from downtown. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Jordan's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Now here's Barnes. 29 points for him last game against Portland.
Yeah, Kev, he was a standout on the backboards that night and got a number of big rebounds.
The dish to Murray. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. While we have a moment, let's now take a look at the top shot blockers in the NBA. 4th, DeAndre Jordan.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
And when you talk about just a natural basketball player, I think you got to envision a guy like Paul Millsap. He just does it all. He's got the skill level and versatility at that power forward position. And in this league today, you have to be able to impact the game the way he does.
And you look at all the different things that Paul Millsap does for you on the court, Greg. Don't forget about the defensive end of the floor, too.
Yeah, great point. And all defense selection, one of the great big men in league history in terms of getting steals, just unbelievable hands. And you know what? He epitomizes consistency when you look at the course of his career.
Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor. Harris against Beasley. And it's Harris off the drive. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Yeah, that's just straightforward basketball from Harris. Driving to the hoop with purpose and not letting anyone, or anything for that matter, slow him down.
Now, here's Thomas. 17 points for him last game against New York.
Really, he exposed a lot of seams in the defense with his passing, too. That assist total was impressive.
Barea against Thomas. Back to Barea. Here's Mejri. A second chance effort, and that one drops for him. Mejri's got his first bucket of the night.
I'll tell you, good things always come when you've got players who work hard for second chance opportunities.
Harris against Beasley. Harris drives in. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee. Doris, you went from the basketball court right to the broadcasting booth. Having seen the game now from an analyst perspective, what might you go back and tell Doris the player?
Yeah, I'd probably tell myself to throw myself completely into the vibe of the team, to never, even if I were struggling as a basketball player, to turn inward. I would always say turn outward to your teammates and invest in what's going on with the group, and then that seems to make everything fall into place.
And mentally, too, I think you've got to prepare and focus like you would as a player when you are broadcasting.
No question about it.
First free throw is good.
Boy, when you consider the last 2 decades of winning in the Dirk Nowitzki era that was capped off with the 2011 championship, one where they were the underdog, it really was an incredible run of success.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. And for Nowitzki, Carlisle, and the veteran Mavericks. A relief to have that ring, but do you think, Doris, they wonder what might have been? Could they have captured more?
Well, they've had tremendous success, and I'm sure every organization, there's things you look back on and wonder. Remember, Dallas let Steve Nash go. He then went on to win multiple MVPs in Phoenix. So what would he and Dirk have been able to accomplish with more time together? We'll never know.
And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Kicks to Beasley. Pass to Lyles. Denver passing it around. Beasley the screen. And Plumlee kicks to Thomas. Shot clock at 5. Doesn't go that time. And it's Dallas the other way. Here's Finney-Smith. Good, and it's Barea who picks up the assist.
What a solid pass by J.J. Barea. I tell you, he's not flashy, but you can count on this guy to run the offense the right way.
The Nuggets trail by 6. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Beasley kicks to Thomas. Plumlee with the screen. 6 to shoot. Here's Beasley. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Mejri's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Harris kicks to Mejri. Plumlee with the steal. Here's Hernan Gomez. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Isn't this what we've come to expect the great point guards to do? Thomas effective spotting his teammates when they're open.
Dishes it to Harris. 1:27 left to play in the first. Down to 5 on the shot clock. On the wing, Harris. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Around halfway through the season, and a chance here to recap where all the teams in the West sit in the standings. You look at Denver. They're 7th right now. Not a bad spot, but certainly they'd like to string together a run of wins. And, of course, Dallas, 3.5 back.
And I think for Denver, hanging where they are, right in the middle of the standings will not make things easy for them down the stretch.
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, this is where the pressure really starts to build. Any little slip-up between here and the end of the season, and they could find themselves sitting at home for the playoffs.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
46 seconds left in the first quarter. To the paint. Oh, trying for it. Umley with the steal. Now, Hernan Gomez. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Thomas kicks to Lyles, and he misses the go-ahead basket.
I don't think the defense is much of a factor there. He just botches the finish.
So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
The Mavericks shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. And the first one drops. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Yeah, a lot of whistles here early, as well as foul trouble starting to be an issue.
And here's Beasley. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Umley with the screen. Thomas, it's a wide open look. Up again. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Mavericks ahead, leading by 3. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that I can make it in this league. To be named with all these names is an unbelievable honor, and it's been a crazy ride.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
Tough defense throughout that first period, and it's really paying dividends.
Well, I think there's a level of physicality with them right now and not allowing the opponent to feel comfortable getting into their heads just a bit.
On the court for Dallas here in the second, they've got Mejri. Harris is out there with J.J. Barea, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 3 slot. Now here's Beasley. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Boy, bodying up there, making sure to get position. That's really nice rebounding technique. Well, we all know that Mavs head coach Rick Carlisle is considered one of the best in the NBA in terms of his ability to X and O. He is outstanding at maximizing his players' strengths and putting them in positions to succeed.
Now here's Barea. He's coming off a 13-point game against Portland.
Boy, nice stroke from downtown. Got it off just before the defense could react. That's his specialty.
Thomas against Barea. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Oh, that's blocked. Harris kicks to Barea, and it's sent back by Plumlee. And they get it back. That pushes it to double digits. And now it's a 10-point Maverick lead. The Nuggets have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter. 0 for 5. Harris against Beasley. It's stolen by Barea. In the corner, it's Harris. Passes it to Mejri. Now here's Barea. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game.
Well, face up and drill it. JJ, more of a scorer than a pure shooter, but looks good that time.
Here's Thomas, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And anytime he takes the court, you can bet Isaiah Thomas is #1 with a bullet atop the other team's scout report.
And he knows it too, Kev. Facing all of these double teams, this guy's worked so hard to become even more dynamic as a scorer and passer. He can finish with either hand. He can hit threes on the move. This guy is relentless, looking to improve.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And Isaiah Thomas, the 60th and final pick of the 2011 draft. Greg, he definitely plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I call it the little man syndrome. He's driven to prove himself. I mean, he's overcome the odds. In league history, only 9 players 5'9" or shorter have played 1,000 minutes or more in a season. And he's not just playing, he's playing at the highest level.
With more floor spacing becoming so important, we now see guys launching from well beyond the arc. Doris, from what you've observed, and you've seen a lot of basketball over your years, which shooters in the league right now have the best deep range night to night in the league?
Well, we've seen Steph Curry make a shot from the tunnel in the Oracle Arena, so I'd say we have to begin with... Literally from the tunnel in his pregame routine. Steph Curry obviously is the guy who, as soon as he steps across half court, you've got to check him or he might let loose. Klay Thompson, his ability to rise and fire, he might be more of a fireball in a short span than any player in the league. Kyle Korver, Damian Lillard, think Damian Lillard out in Portland, the extraordinary job he does scoring the basketball with great productivity from beyond the arc.
And Denver decides to take their first time out here. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
Yeah, and really lucky that they weren't blown out in that game, because I just thought the effort was lacking.
You know, it'd be hard to identify a phase of the game where they were crisp. Not the passing, not the shooting. Defensive rotations were off. You could critique them up and down.
The Nuggets making a switch here. Harris is checked in. Jordan, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Nowitzki comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Barnes passes to Jordan. Smith dishes to Nowitzki. Over Millsap. Goes back up, and it's Barnes getting it to go. Barnes has got 6 points.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
And the foul on Dennis Smith Jr. That's his first foul. There's a good screen. Harris against Matthews. Jokic kicks to Barton. 5 on the clock. Millsap sets the pick for Harris. The Nuggets with another miss. Dallas with the ball. This run now up to 13-2. Millsap with the steal. Harris with it. Matthews covering. There's the feed to Murray. Back to Harris. Jokic with the screen on Matthews. Harris kicks to Jokic. Misses the 3. Mavericks leading by 14. Inside, Jordan. Here's Nowitzki. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Millsap has the open look. The good-looking shot from the wing. Millsap's got his third basket of the night. Now the Mavericks with it. They're on a 15-4 run right now. Jordan the screen. Here's Smith. And it's sent back by Millsap. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. Shot is good, and the Mavericks lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Barton.
Yeah, sprinting end to end, but under control. That's the key.
No, exactly right, Greg. You can't go too fast. He pulled that off in brilliant fashion.
Here's Murray. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Jokic. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. This is his second trip to the line in this one.
An 85% mark from the line. There aren't too many players in the league who are going to sport a much better percentage.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And you wonder about the future direction of the Mavs. I had heard their European scouts were very keen on a young unknown prospect back in 2013 by the name of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Wow, what might have been, Kev. Giannis could have been their Kawhi Leonard to build around. Instead, the Mavs traded back in the draft to free up cap space. A definite do-over if such a thing ever existed.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Now, here is Smith. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game.
You know, despite his struggle shooting, they've been successful tonight. He's just not gotten on track.
And another miss by Denver.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
I'm not sure why he doesn't continue to move the basketball. Would have served that team much better.
Now, here's Millsap. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Outside Millsap. And it's blocked by Jordan. But they'll get another chance. Here's Murray. That one wide left.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, starting to look like it's taking its toll mentally. He doesn't look like himself.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
And hammering down the two-hand slam. The Nuggets trail by 14. Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. Hey, Greg, when you look at all the dunks that DeAndre Jordan has on his resume, it's pretty impressive.
And Jordan, I feel, is even underrated with his dunking ability. Very agile. You can see that in warm-ups as well as the dunk contest. His unmatched power when attacking the rim, really unprecedented. He may be the best athlete in the league. And his guys are getting frustrated. Coach just really kind of needs to calm them down.
I think, Greg, they've got to continue to believe that the next shot is going to go in. He can hopefully communicate that effectively to them.
Now here's Murray. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. The shot's good from Nikola Jokic.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Smith outside. Nowitzki outside. Smith the pass to Barnes. Barnes with another miss.
Well, obviously it's been an off night for him offensively, but give his teammates credit. They've bailed him out. He's still got time to turn it around.
Millsap sets the pick for Murray. And stolen by Nowitzki. Here's Matthews. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
That's just great concentration by Wes Matthews. Absorbs the hit and nails it.
I'm not sure, Greg, there's a player who better fits the description of a grinder than Wes Matthews.
Yeah, so tough, too. I mean, mentally and physically. He talks about inflicting his personality on the team, and he truly is what I'd call a culture builder.
One shot.
Doris, with so many one-and-dones entering the NBA, do you think expectations are too high for these guys, especially from the fans?
I don't, Kevin. I think it depends on the talent that we're talking about. You know, I know Joel Embiid is a guy who didn't necessarily start right away, but when he was finally able to be healthy, it certainly didn't take him long to become a factor on the NBA level. No, I don't think the expectations are too high. I think these guys are accustomed to expectations, and frankly, their personal expectations are probably higher than ours.
I mean, look at the elite of these high school kids have been playing like in front of big crowds on a big stage for so long. It's second nature to them, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Kevin. I'll tell you, somebody fell asleep because the defense was not paying any attention to him. That's a huge blunder.
Smith kicks to Barnes. Nowitzki a screen. Barnes dishes to Nowitzki. Clock at 6. With some arc, and it's sent back by Jokic. Here's Harris, and the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Dallas leading by 12, and it's Barnes slamming it down.
Oh, Kevin, don't you love the pace? Because Barnes going end-to-end, so hard to deal with defensively.
Barton against Barnes. Millsap a screen on Smith. They set the pick. Murray kicks to Jokic, and it's blocked by Jordan. And he's able to get it back.
He's trying to make something happen, but obviously been a tough quarter.
Barnes passes to Smith. Now here's Murray. He's guarded closely. And it's Smith. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta love seeing the young fella dunk that one home. Smith likes to show off that incredible vertical.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. Denver calls timeout.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
But, Greg, no resistance, right? They're allowing them to get any kind of shot they want close. That simply can't happen.
Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for Denver.
And the three-point game stands out as a major sore spot. It just has not been falling for him. I think at this point you start to get away from that shot. Try to engage in other parts of the offense. You don't want to hurt your team if that long ball isn't there.
Mavericks on D. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. Shots good by Hernan Gomez.
Exactly the kind of ball movement they're looking for.
Dallas has gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. There's the screen. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. Lyles got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Now, here is Hernan Gomez, guarded by Harris. Beasley outside. From deep, Thomas. The Mavericks pull it in. 1:37 left now here in the second. And here is Barea outside. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Barea's got his second bucket tonight. Thomas kicks to Lyles. It's tipped. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break. Harris has got the ball. Good on the bucket. Harris has got 8 points.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Boy, when he's alone in the open court, he just attacks, right? I mean, turning on the jets and finishing easily at the rim.
Now here's Beasley. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Oof, this has been brutal. I mean, he still hasn't made a single shot. No wonder they're struggling.
And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. Nuggets on D. 19-point game. Here's Finney-Smith. It's deflected. They recover it. 5 to shoot. Here's Barea. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got his 4th rebound in this one. Hernangomez passes to Thomas. Thomas with another miss.
Still unable to connect this quarter. Really looks frustrated. Just needs to try and stay calm.
Barea dishes to Harris. Jordan with a screen on Thomas. From deep, Barea. Another miss by Barea. It's deflected. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barea.
Man, you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
You love that they're making their presence felt on the defensive end. You can't afford to be careless with this team.
Beasley for 3. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
What a 3 at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
Boy, that was the perfect end to the period. You have no idea how much effect those buzzer beaters can have on a team's momentum.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Mavericks lead by 16. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Harrison, a big first half for you offensively. How did you get loose?
My teammates just been finding me. I've just been trying to run hard, make good backdoor cuts, running in transition, and letting me give me good looks.
You have not stopped moving at all, and it's led to good results. Thanks, Harrison. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome, everybody. So far, a pretty one-sided first half. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
Their ability to get into the paint and get to the rim has been deadly, constantly attacking the basket. It was clearly their intention right from the start to pound it inside as much as possible. And I don't see them straying from that strategy in the second half. It's going to be another paint-based attack.
And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
Well, their sloppy play really surprised me, especially the turnovers. No matter who they had out there, they never seemed to be on the same page. Their only hope is to make every possession count, and that means taking care of the ball.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. One of the stories here, Wesley Matthews getting it done today.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
I think you can look to specifically the patience and the shot creation. Really solid effort.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen. Murray and Harris in the backcourt. Martin at small forward with Millsap at power forward. And it's Jokic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group on the floor for Denver. Now here's Matthews. Nobody near Barnes. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Barnes has got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for Dallas. Murray kicks to Jokic. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. He takes it up and lays it in. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 13 rebounds. Smith the pass to Barnes. He feeds it to Matthews. Jordan dishes to Smith. Dallas moving it around. Clock at 6. Nowitzki's shot's good.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Barton kicks to Jokic. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. The Nuggets haven't yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5. He misses the free throw. And the second free throw, good. Here's Smith. Little over a minute gone here in the second half. Jordan the screen. Matthews passes to Nowitzki. That doesn't go either for Nowitzki. The Nuggets trail by 19. Barton outside. Jokic sets the screen for Barton. The pass to Jokic. Drills the three-pointer. Jokic has got 15 points.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Well, there's no doubt this guy's on a hot streak right now. That's why he keeps getting the ball in this one. They're like, hey, we're going to feed the hot hand. Really like the energy I'm seeing from this offense. 3 for 4 to open the third.
Boy, you look back on the signing, guys, of Wesley Matthews in Dallas. 4 years, $70 million for a player coming off an Achilles tear. This is an injury that has ruined many a career. That was a huge gamble for the Mavericks.
Here's Smith, following the basket by Paul Millsap. Matthews left side. Barnes, and it's Barnes slamming it down.
Well, this is the scoring potential that Barnes has, really putting it all together tonight.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. And Matthews coming back from the Achilles tear to start opening night less than 8 months later. Such an accomplishment. Mind over matter.
No, it really is. And still working to get back to the level he showed before the injury. But I love his passion for the game and the thirst for greatness. Don't bet against Mr. Matthews.
Measury, he's checked in for Jordan. Here's Smith. 5 points in the game. Nowitzki up top. Outside Matthews. He kicks it to Barnes. And stolen by Barton. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Feeds it to Murray. Outside Millsap. He dishes it to Barton. Back to Millsap. Clock at 6. Over Nowitzki. Again, Millsap missing.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Matthews dishes to Barnes. Back to Matthews. And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That's his first foul. The Nuggets trail by 18. Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over.
You know, I think one thing Coach will address in this timeout right now is you're missing a lot of shots. Why not become more of a facilitator out there?
All right, a chance to take a look at some stats for Murray.
How last month turned out for him, he's averaging 11 points a game, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Great anticipation, excellent peripheral vision. His talents are really shining through.
Dallas leading by 18. Matthews left side. Pass to Smith. 7-foot shot. That one off the back iron and out.
You know, he's working on his inside game, but clearly there's still a little more work to do.
The Nuggets with another miss.
Boy, they leave an area of the floor totally unprotected, and he lets it go to waste.
Over in the corner, Matthews. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Smith's got his 7th assist here tonight.
Now, I think they'll keep going to him more and more as they look to hang on to their lead. Why not with the way this guy is shooting it?
Now here's Murray. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Harris kicks to Millsap. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
Boy, he's carried his share of the load tonight, Kev. But he might need to carry even more if they're going to turn this thing around.
Nowitzki a screen. Smith kicks to Nowitzki. Basket good. Nowitzki's got 7 points.
There's no slowing Dirk down at this point. When he gets positioned down low, it's over.
And so it looks like Denver will retain possession here.
All right, a chance to look at the stats for Nikola Jokic. The last 10 games, he has been on a heck of a run. 14th in rebounding. And he's right up there in the top 20 in scoring. Certainly a force to be reckoned with offensively.
And you mentioned how powerful he is on the boards, going full throttle at both ends every play. Really helping his team compete for wins. Count it.
My goodness, how about the degree of difficulty on that shot?
Smith with it. He has 5. Matthews goes in. That's a 2 from Barnes. And Dallas again with the bucket.
Oh, man, that is a smooth jumper by Barnes. Looking comfortable at all 3 levels these days.
Murray kicks to Millsap. Rejected by Nowitzki. Here's Matthews. Jokic grabs the miss. Jokic has got his 16th rebound on the night. Down low, here's Harris. Got a hand on it.
I'll tell you, he hasn't been able to find the mark all night. It's a big reason they're staring at this deficit.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. It's going to go on Will Barton.
And when Barnes is being this aggressive, taking it up this strong, the entire attitude of this offense changes.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
A really solid free throw shooter. The team would like to see Barnes get to that line more often.
Big group substitution here for Denver. Lyles checked in for Millsap. Hernan Gomez comes in for Will Barton. Malik Beasley, he's checked in for Harris. And Thomas subbed in for Jamal Murray. Then for the Mavericks, Harris has checked in for Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Here's Thomas. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Good on the shot.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Mavericks leading by 21. Now Barea. He's got 5. In the corner, it's Harris. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. The Nuggets have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. No good from Beasley. The Mavericks have gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. Ball stolen. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. Measuring with the rebound.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Greg. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
Now, here's Jokic. 17 points in the game. Lyles tipped back in for 2. Lyles got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Barea, the pass to Measuring. Barea kicks to Harris. Here's Nowitzki. Can't cash in from close range.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the 2-man game creates a terrific look.
Well, he simply misfired. You've got to capitalize when the screen opens up wide open shots like that. I'll tell you, that's been the story of this guy's night. He can't get anything to fall.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Here's Lyles, defended by Nowitzki. Jokic inside. He's against Mejri. Jokic, no good. Left side, Harris. Nowitzki, right side. Barnes kicks to Nowitzki. Now, here is Hernan Gomez. Tight defense on him. Beasley against Harris. To the inside. That's good for Thomas on the assist by Beasley. And it's 6 points for Isaiah Thomas.
Well, how about the patience in the paint by Isaiah Thomas? This guy effective at getting high-quality shots.
Here's Nowitzki. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game. Now 6 for 10.
You know, put a rough first half behind him. He's absolutely crushing it here in the second.
Thomas a screen. Jokic with a screen on Harris. It's Thomas outside. Drains it from beyond the arc. Thomas got 7 points here in this quarter.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Nowitzki with the screen on Thomas. Jokic with the steal. And here's Beasley. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. There's the dish to Thomas. Back to Beasley. Kicks to Thomas. Shot clock at 6. Jokic a screen. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. On the wing, Harris. Back to Barea. And it's Denver with the rebound. Lyles got 6 rebounds here tonight. And there's the call on Mejri. That is his first foul of the game. Plumlee is checked in for Denver. The Nuggets really having a tough go here. Thomas dishes to Beasley. Thomas a screen. Pass to Lyles. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Thomas got his 4th assist in this one.
I'll tell you, he's been one area they haven't had to worry about tonight. He's been scoring at will.
Now here's Barea. Hernan Gomez covering. It's tipped. Now here's Thomas. He's got 9. Out to the right wing. And the shot is long. Mavericks leading by 20. Dishes it to Barea. Passes it to Finney-Smith. Got a piece of it. And they're able to recover. Now the feed to Barea. Another miss by Barea. The Nuggets shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. From the arc. No good from Hernan Gomez.
Boy, despite the miss, he did a really good job shaking himself completely free from the defense.
Harris kicks to Finney-Smith. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. The Nuggets trail by 20. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Back to Harris. They need this one. Excellent D there from Beasley. Hernan Gomez kicks to Lyles. From 13, can't hit that one. Harrison Barnes getting it done for Dallas. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. Right back after this break. Rick Carlisle had some words for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
Hey, defensively, good job. Keep getting back. Transition, we're doing a good job filling the corners. Our spacing and movement, screenings, getting some good shots. Stay with that.
And Rick Carlisle breaking it down to his team, happy with their approach at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and it's the hustle. I mean, the areas where they're doing best, that comes from effort. And nothing makes a coach happier than to see that in his team.
Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. On the court for the Mavericks, J.J. Barea is out there with Devin Harris. Then it's Jordan, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 3. Now here is Harris. Outside Jordan. Back to Harris. Jordan with a screen on Plumlee. Barea, that's a two-pointer. Excellent D from Thomas.
Well, he hasn't been a big contributor tonight for sure, but it hasn't prevented them from being in a position to grab the win.
Now, here is Hernan Gomez. He's guarded closely. Plumlee, the pass to Thomas. Hits it from three-point range. Thomas got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Nuggets. Mavericks leading by 17. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Dallas moving it around. Good work there as it goes. Nuggets shooting 32% overall right now. Not one of their better showings. Shoots it up. He squares up and sinks it. Thomas got 12 points in just the second half.
He's made obvious improvements since the half, really getting into an offensive groove.
To the wing right side. Barea with a wide open look. Over Plumlee. And the pass to Finney-Smith. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. The Nuggets trail by 17. Beasley with it. Picked up by Harris. They get the rebound. Lyles. Here's Hernan Gomez. And Plumlee kicks to Lyles. And stolen by Jordan. Here's Finney-Smith. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Big group substitution here for Denver. Paul Millsap's checked in for Lyles. Martin comes in for Hernan Gomez. Harris is checked in for Malik Beasley. And Murray's subbed in for Thomas. Then for the Mavericks, Matthews comes in for Harris. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea.
One shot.
And the free throw, no good.
And one of the things about Will Barton's game that to me makes him such a force is how unpredictable he can be. He plays at times almost like a man out of control, and it really does work to his advantage as he is a difficult guy to deal with in those one-on-one situations.
Smith for three. The three-pointer is right on target.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
Barton kicks to Millsap. And Doris, looking at the financial health of the league, tremendous TV ratings with the finals coverage again. Nearly half the teams valued around $1 billion, which to me is just unfathomable. Are we in the golden age of professional basketball in this country, of the NBA?
I think certainly we are in one of the great generations for the NBA. And think about this. I know soccer is the most popular game worldwide, Kevin, but increasingly basketball beyond the borders of the United States is one of the most popular and fastest growing sports. So I don't think there's any question the NBA is at its peak of its popularity with no end in sight. And I think there's a reason for that. You know, I think there's something very tangible and touchable to the NBA fan. Look at a guy like Steph Curry. He looks like every man, and yet he's finding tremendous success. That's appealing to NBA fans of the next generation.
Now here's Murray. He feeds it to Harris. Shoots it up. Misses off the left iron.
I'll tell you, his touch has been off all day, and now his judgment is starting to go by the wayside as well. That's a poor shot.
Harris against Matthews. Here's Jordan, and he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
Yeah, and it's the long arms of Jordan, staying active on the boards for these high percentage putbacks.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Barnes is checked in.
One shot.
Free throw good, Jordan. And Doris, regarding league expansion with the popularity of international basketball, you think there'll ever be a team added to the NBA that is not located in North America?
You know, this is a fascinating supposition because the game is so popular in China. The game is increasingly popular in any number of non-NBA cities in Europe, Kev. I just wonder about the logistics of it. We talk all the time about the difficulty of the travel schedule and then the games in a certain number of nights. If you're incorporating overseas travel, it just seems to me that that's going to be a tough jigsaw to work out.
It could be if you're playing on the East Coast and play in a London or a Paris. Those flights probably don't measure much over 7 hours. But I get your point, and that, you know, all leagues are looking at this now very closely.
This is something the league is looking hard at. It'll be curious to see what occurs from it.
I think one of the things, too, is do we need to influence overseas markets now to find new revenues? I think that's something that all the leagues are looking at. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Millsap. Jokic has checked in for Plumlee. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. Long range from the inbound. The shot misses. And the Nuggets going the other way. Here's Millsap. Another shot. And he sinks the layup.
And they've shown a little extra hustle on the offensive glass here in the second half. Second chance points are starting to add up for them, and they can use every one of them.
That's a 2 from Smith. Dallas no good that time either. The Nuggets trail by 19. Barton wide open. He fires. Offensive rebound. Millsap. And it's sent back by Nowitzki.
And Dirk has always been a bit underrated defensively. Superb length to contest and block shots.
Mavericks leading by 19 points. Smith outside. He kicks it to Barnes. Jordan the screen out to the wing. Smith outside. 6 to shoot. Jordan dishes to Smith. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. And that's 10 points for Smith.
And Smith doesn't back down from a challenge. Even when he gets bodied, he can stay with the play and convert.
Now here's Murray. Millsap a screen on Smith. Here's Murray. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
How about the strength of Murray finishing the shot off easily, even with the harm?
Of course, not too long ago, changes were made to the intentional foul rule. In your observation, has this made a positive difference?
Well, I certainly love that the away from the play fouls were extended to include the last 2 minutes of each period. I don't think you should necessarily give an advantage to a team that is playing from behind by intentionally fouling a poor free throw shooter. So that's one. I do believe now the bigger issue in the NBA has become the shooting fouls where the shooter is launching himself into a defender. I think that the NBA will take a hard look at that and make any necessary change, Kev.
Totally agree, Doris. I don't want to pinpoint one player, but James Harden has made that an art form.
That's correct.
Mavericks leading by 18. Here's Smith. Barnes outside. Shoots over Barton. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Barnes has got 11 in the second half.
How about that? Barnes in attack mode. Big time power move through traffic.
Millsap passes to Barton. Millsap sets the pick for Barton. Murray for 3. Second chance shot, and Jokic lays it up and in. Jokic has got 19 points.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Oh, he sure is. I mean, these past 2 games, his energy level has been sensational. Whether it's a putback like that or other hustle plays, he's been everywhere.
Barnes can't get it to go. The Nuggets trail by 18. Murray with it. Pass to Jokic. 14 feet away. It's rebounded by Dallas. Jordan's got 14 rebounds tonight. Going after it. Back to Matthews. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
That's a tenacious drive by Wes Matthews, being rewarded for his aggressiveness with a trip to the stripe.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw, good. Matthews.
And I think Wes Matthews, you've got a guy who's a true leader, someone who's not afraid to speak his mind and let his teammates know what's up.
And so he makes both from the line. Doris, we know there's a lot of trash talking on the court. Some of it is unfriendly, some of it not so much, just kind of playing around. When do you consider comments going over the line?
Well, given that I'm not necessarily privy to exactly everything that's said, I imagine much of it not PG rated, Kevin.
No.
I would say that's an issue for the players to decide. If you step over the line, you're going to feel me in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know, though, we've ever had a time in any professional sport, but in particular the NBA, where there has been a real feeling of community among the players, though. I mean, I think in the olden days, there was genuine hatred, and there's some of that now. But there is really a feel like, wait, we are all in this together.
Maybe too much so. Like
Maybe too much so.
I enjoyed watching Larry Bird, who was supposed to be amongst the best trash talkers, get into the head of the player. Draymond Green is the current iteration of perhaps the best trash talker. I say, listen, let him yap a little bit. Nothing wrong with that.
He's taking Kevin Garnett's place in that regard, I think.
Yeah.
Now, here is Smith over Murray. And it's Smith missing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Greg. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
Barnes kicks to Smith. And Nowitzki has it in the corner. Off target from outside.
Boy, he's so used to having a hand in his face that I think it caught him off guard to be that wide open.
Wasted no time on that one. 10 points for Gary Harris.
He hits one in the first half, another here. Not prolific, but the defense has to keep an eye on him.
Nowitzki a screen. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, hasn't it, guys? As far as taking care of the basketball, immaculate at halftime, but he's had too many miscues here in the second half.
Thomas checked in for Murray. Now, here's Thomas. Feeds to Millsap. Back to Thomas. Good D by Jordan.
Yeah, good interior D there. Prevents the deuce.
Well, if he wasn't there, that shot's going in. Love the effort on the defensive end.
Thomas against Smith. He dishes it to Matthews. The drive by Nowitzki. Gets that one through the hole. Make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
And you can just see he's a different player since coming back from halftime.
Denver calls timeout.
And I'll tell you what, age ain't nothing but a number when you talk about the impact of Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, with his size and shooting touch, he creates so many openings for himself and his teammates offensively.
And a chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Dirk Nowitzki.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just torn them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
And maybe him having a game like this will get things turned around for him, because almost nothing has been going their way lately. J.J. Barea has checked in for Dallas. And it's the Nuggets with the ball. They trail by 16. And Nowitzki's turnaround, an unblockable shot when he's hitting. Greg, he's unguardable.
And even though he's lost a little lift in the legs, he's worked hard to kind of quicken his release. And just another tweak for a guy who's made a career of adding layers to his Hall of Fame game.
And the basket by Harris. Dallas leading by 14. Nowitzki with the screen on Thomas. Nice work there coming off the screen.
Listen, this guy's not the biggest, strongest screener in the world, but Barnes does a really good job of establishing and holding position.
Now here's Millsap to the middle. Here's Barton. It's hauled in by DeAndre Jordan.
Boy, too much traffic in the lane. Very difficult finish with the defense draped all over him.
Barea kicks to Nowitzki. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to go on Will Barton. Well, Dirk Nowitzki may be in his final season, but Doris, as long as he's healthy, he could keep playing for years.
Well, no doubt. You know, he's got size and shooting touch, 2 things you do not lose with age. As Dirk said, listen, it's pretty clear that my game is not based on athleticism. And so that enables him to play at a high level, even as he approaches the ripe old age of 40.
2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
I don't know how you couldn't admire the love and passion Nowitzki has for the game. This guy's a terrific teammate who just continues to get it done.
Jamal Murray, he's checked in for Denver. And so Nowitzki nails both of them. 1:49 left in the 4th quarter. Now Murray. Millsap a screen on Barea. Murray dishes to Millsap. Shot clock at 5. Takes it from 10. Matthews with the rebound. Matthews has got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Mavericks.
Free throws were a big factor in this one.
You know, it's always great to get a lot of shots at the line, but the key, they were able to convert tonight. You start making free throws, and it can get you the win.
And you can mark this one down in the W column. It'll mark their 23rd of the season.
And they put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only 1 left to play.
And you know, guys, what a nice performance it was for Nowitzki.
Boy, whatever was needed, he provided it. He was the jack of all trades. Big bucket on one end, big defensive play on the other. I thought his influence was felt all over the floor.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
No, I think that they've been locked in during this game. They didn't let the opposing crowd get to them at all. This has been pure domination.
19 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
And here's Barea. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. With DeAndre Jordan, you were a big factor inside tonight. How important was it to control the paint?
You know, we just wanted to set the tone defensively for our team. We knew that they had some great guards who, really penetrate and break defenses down.
Well, you took a lot of that away, DeAndre. Thanks for your time. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.